So it begins. The epic adventure of going to Touratech and Oregon Backcountry Discovery Route. Oh, it's raining. Oh no. Hey, let's go. We got Hippo Hands. We're gonna be okay.
Called Marble Mount on Highway 20 going east, and it's a beautiful highway. Made my crossing at Sumas, and if you haven't ridden the road between Sumas and Cedro-Woolley, you should, just so you can drive through Cedro-Woolley, which is a fun name. So Marble Mount is just a small little town. It's the last service for a little while, but I got lots of fuel, and the next stop is going to be Winthrop. And so this is a beautiful road. Unfortunately, it's raining pretty hard, but you get to experience this beautiful Pacific Northwest forest with all this greenery, and it's incredible through here. So hopefully you can ride this someday. Get peaks of this river every once in a while, and it's just really cool. Old train. This is New Halen. It's Halem. I think it's probably serves the Seattle area power grid. Looks like a huge hydro operation. We're coming up on Diablo Lake, and so yeah, you can see ahead. Big hydroelectric facility here. So let's go deeper into the Cascade Mountains. Man, the views are awesome. Oh, yes! Don't forget to honk your horn when you go through the tunnel. Celsius up here. A little bit chilly, but man, this is a spectacular view. I might see some blue sky off in the distance, which would be awesome. Nice having the rain stop, so the roads are getting a little bit drier. And this is one of the best valleys on all of Highway 20. And there's only one reason why you come to Highway 20. Riding this valley right here. So here is Winthrop. It's a pretty cool old town. It's kind of made to look like an old western town. And yeah, it's worth stopping and walking and looking around. Got some pretty cool old shops. However, I got a place to go. I'm going to the Touratech Rally, so I can't be a tourist here in this little town. Gonna find some fuel, find some good beef jerky, and keep rolling. So, this is Winthrop. Section 5 of the Washington Backcountry Discovery Route. And this is just a little bit south of Twisk. And gonna ride this route until we get to Chelan, and enjoy this part of it. This is the easy part, and then it'll get a little bit trickier once we get to the moon dust later on. Forest, yes please. Washed out and rutted out, making for some spicy riding, which is awesome. Well, this is interesting. a great excavator just came through here, probably cleaning out all the brush on the side, but really chewed up the road here. I know it's probably not going to be too obvious, but it's just turned into a bit of a bumpy ride where it's normally pretty fast through here. So always fun to get the unexpected adventures on these trips. And I'm sure that you'll notice that the greenery is amazing. It's been pretty wet through here, so later on in the season it'll be pretty dry, but the greenery is amazing. Love it. So pretty through here with all the flowers blooming now. And oh, we got a massive creek crossing here. Woohoo! Some kind of Forest Service Road convention up here. Beautiful views now, getting closer and closer to the top of whatever mountain is ahead of us. Great view of the valley. Not sure how long ago this part of the forest was burned, but because there's no more trees, the views are pretty amazing up here. See for miles. So I found some new riding buddies today. Nice dually truck escorting a dump truck and some kind of plow. So if you're ever wondering what kind of vehicles can ride on the WABDR, it's any kind of vehicle. You just got to have some big tires and some guts to drive these kind of roads with any kind of vehicle. Obviously there's lots of logging operations up here, so always got to watch out for logging trucks. But I'm just going to sit back here and wait for a place to pass and nibble on some dust. So, oh, look at that. Nice view. So I'm passing a whole bunch of Forest Service vehicles up here. So definitely ride right, and hopefully they're driving right. The tricky part is when it's like a cliff off the side here, riding right is a little scary, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. And coming up on this really epic looking forestry vehicle, that thing's awesome. Still going downhill here. Alright, climbing up towards Copper Mountain. Copper or Cooper, I can't remember. Copper, I think it is. But the view up here is pretty awesome, except you can't take your eyes off the road in this section. Oh, there it is! Woohoo! This is awesome. I always forget how fun Section 5 is in parts. I mean, it's not super challenging, but I mean, the view is incredible when you climb up here. It's so hard for me to stop looking at the road and turn my head to look at it. Oh, oh, so fun. Washington backcountry discovery route every time. So much fun. Fast through this section, pretty flowy. The road conditions are great. It's not too dusty right now, and just loving it. So the turnoff for Copper Mountain, Copper, I can't remember. I guess I'll put it up on the screen. Is pretty tricky when you're going south on the Washington Backcountry Discovery Route, because you're just enjoying this road. It's fantastic, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's here. So if you go ripping by it, you might miss this turn. And so there's a turn off to go up to the top. Let's go get some lunch up there. I don't think there's a McDonald's up there, but I guess I'll have to settle for what's in my bags. So the road up to this little lookout is a little bit washed out, but it's not the hardest road in the world. Takes a little bit of skill to get up here, and it's not too far off the main trail, so it's worthwhile going to check out because the view up here is pretty spectacular. So you might go by there and go, it's not worth it, but I don't know, you saw how long it was for me to get up here, not very long at all. And here we are, way up on top, looking down over Lake Chelan. So, worth the stop. Okay, so it might be a bit windy on the camera here, but I rode up to the top of Cooper Mountain. Gonna have some lunch. Lake Chelan is way off in the distance here, and gonna have a quick bite and then keep riding on this awesome epic adventure towards the Touratech Rally 2024. That was Cooper Mountain. Cooper Mountain. Nailed it. Next up, Lake Chelan. And boom, there's Lake Chelan. On our journey towards Touratech Rally, we're gonna ride up the jungle. I say up because we're coming at it from the north going south, and it is an uphill climb. So hang on tight. This, in my opinion, is probably the most challenging part of the Washington backcountry discovery route. Not necessarily because of the trail per se, but as you're going to see a little bit later, it's super exposed, and if you're afraid of heights, it just, I don't know, there's just a pucker factor that comes into this. Right now it's nice and mellow, nothing too extreme, but we'll see what the condition of the trail is in after a winter, and we'll see how scary it gets when the side of the hill falls away. Of where the side of the hill just drops off and gets a little more steep and technical. Again, you just keep climbing up and up and up. You're going up over the top of this mountain. Lots of fallen trees through here. This was a burned out area a couple years back, and so you can see all the deadfall, and then you get a nice view because there's less trees in the way. I guess in a way you can sort of see what's coming, and a little bit sandy this time. I've ridden this in the past, and I'd say there's more sand on the trail this time than in previous years. Not sure what's making that, just a lot of traffic, I guess. And this is where it really starts to climb up. The lake you can peek down to the left there is Lake Chelan, and we just went around it basically, and now we're going up. A bit of rock that fell down. The jungle is starting to regrow itself back in here. You see the bushes are starting to encroach on the trail again, so got to keep your eyes peeled for logs that are hiding in those bushes that might catch your pannier. Really loose in the middle, so you end up sticking in one of the ruts. And that forces you sometimes to be brushing through the foliage. So gonna get a bit of face slapping through here, and so far trail's in great condition, and looks like there's been lots of people going through, including four-wheel drives, and every time you go on this is probably going to be a little bit different depending on the weather conditions and time of the year. This is almost the very end of June, and so pretty nice conditions because it's not too hot. Just about 20 degrees out right now, and everything's been a little bit wetted down from recent rain, so it's not even too dry. So I'm sure it'd be very dusty if you're following somebody up here a little bit later in the season. So you can see the ruts have gotten quite a bit bigger here, so I'm going to try to stay out of them. Sometimes you just got to go in the rut. and ride it out. So I remember last time I did this, this was kind of a fun little corridor where you gotta watch for sharp things sticking out of the bush, and bounce around up the trail. Oh, little crossover here, and you just keep going up and up. There has been a fair amount of trail maintenance. You can see someone's been through here with a chainsaw, taking out all the trees that fell down in the winter. But still got to pay attention. Who knows when the last time somebody came through here with a chainsaw and something else might have fallen down since then. Probably a good idea to carry a saw with you when you come on these kind of trips. I got one in my pannier and hope I don't have to use it except for maybe some firewood later. This is probably the best part of the trail where you get to work on your I don't know, cross rutting, where you got your tire on one side of a log and your rear tire on the other, or a rut. And it happens quite a bit through here, just because there's lots of little, almost looks like driftwood logs that have been strategically planted on the trail to test your skills. And man, it's a pretty fun trail. There's a good example of the parallel. The parallel log is a fun log. Most of us would rather ride across perpendicular logs. I think that's the right name. It's been a long time since I've been in high school. So, boy, the forest is really encroaching in on here. Obviously a good idea to wear eye protection. If you went through here without anything over your eyes, you'd get poked pretty good. Oh, water crossing way up on the mountain. Little tiny creek. You just got to keep your balance, your momentum. Like I said, it's not super challenging. It throws everything at you at once. You got a little bit of sand, you got some rocks, you got some logs across the trail, and then so many pannier grabbers reaching out and trying to touch you. And then this, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, if I fall down to the left, I might not stop until I get into water at the lake. So there's that always kind of lurking to the side. This part's a little more tricky, a little more rock on sand. Just keep working your way up here. I'm not going too fast. I am riding a solo right now, so I don't want to be too crazy in my approach here. Fully loaded for camping for a week, so just take your time when you do this, and make sure you pay attention to where you are. This is not a time to shut your brain off and rest. I'm going to shut my mouth off and just ride now. It is getting more and more spectacular the higher you go up here. Obviously you can't look around too much because you're so focused on the trail, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. I actually just passed the fully loaded GS 1250, and he was by himself. I didn't have the camera rolling. It's a good thing we passed each other at a convenient spot, so we didn't have to push one or the other off the ledge. He probably would have won because he's heavier than me. Here's a fun little technical switchback. So we came from way down there. I can't even look. Factor, because the rocks get really loose. And I'm picking the line closest to the side because the rocks on the other lane are really chunky, and looks like more people have gone this side, but you just gotta look straight ahead. Don't look down so that you don't fall off. Now, if this trail was anywhere else where it was flat or even in a bowl, you wouldn't have to worry about that at all. But just the fact that there's a death drop to your left makes it a little more intense. So that gives you, I'm going to stop so you can see where we came from. That road way down at the bottom of the hill is where we started. And we're going to keep going up to the top here. Getting pretty close to the end of the jungle. And used to be called the jungle because it was covered in trees. Now it's all burned out and wide open, so the view is a lot different than it used to be when it had lots of trees up here. The view is spectacular. So if you're wondering, I've been basically riding in first gear this entire time, just crawling up here. And the total section of the jungle takes about 15 minutes. So I'm getting close to the end of the tricky part. Whoa, that was fun. I think my camera's rolling, which is awesome. And there's the view down there. Oh, I hit that log and it just shot me sideways. Now I'm gonna have fun picking this monster up. Was crazy. Alright, well, I'm glad I caught that on film. As I was saying, you don't want to fall over the edge. I jumped off because I just did not want to whiskey throttle over that, and added a few more minutes to my trip. Everything seemed fine on the bike. Let's carry on. Really steep here, so gotta get some momentum to get rolling again. Really rocky. Okay. Let's try not to do that again. And there is what I think is the top. We could go on the ridge line for a little bit, but from my memory, this is kind of the hard part is done. I think everything is working order still on my bike. It's a pretty slow tip over, thankfully. And even my mirror's in the right position still. Fun times. There's something really fun about this part of the WABDR. I'm in section 4 now, past the jungle, and you get to ride across this ridge. You get these beautiful views. The road itself is really nice and flowy. After you have some shenanigans on the jungle, you get to relax a little bit on this nice manicured gravel road heading towards Handlebar. Coming up again, we're going way up there. There's a nice view of the valley down to the left here. I have no idea what this part is called, but it's one of those things on the WABDR where it's not really marked as anything special, but if this was anywhere else in the world, this would be the best road you've ever been on in your life. I mean, look at that view. And this is spectacular riding, and it's just an average part of a backcountry discovery route. We're getting close to the Touratech Rally because there's a whole bunch of adventure bikes here. Well, that trail's called, but it's the final fun trail I'm going to do on the way into Plain. End this with some nice forest riding after a long day in the saddle. I've been riding for 7.5 hours of riding time. Rode over 550 kilometers. Average 70 kilometers an hour. It's been a great day. So next stop, the Touratech Rally. Made it. Already there's shenanigans out on the field. Here's where I check in. Hopefully I'm not too late. Oh, I'm happy to see the Adventure Cooperative here.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Yeah, I really like your channel a lot. So
thank you very much.
yeah, I'm from BC too, so
Yeah, it's like Camp Canada over there.
yeah, I'll be over there with my buddies.
We'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
Wet and cold.
Yeah.
One guy took his gloves off, they were blue. Gloves to die.
Hey.
All right, I made it to the Touratech Rally 2024. It's gonna be a great time. Day one coming right up.